Hello everyone, welcome back to this final tutorial on annotation of engineering documents. Particularly in this session, we will be annotating a sample engineering drawing this one is a basement drawing of a superstructure building. Okay, so in this session we will focus more on the measuring tools like distance and perimeters and areas to provide you the values that you need. Let's say, for example, you want to measure you're checking this drawing and you want to check the distances between certain items on the drawing which is not shown in this drawing. Okay, and you don't have the privilege of an unavailable CAD operator to put those dimensions on the drawings themselves. So you only have a PDF. So let's say you start measuring distances. If you click on distance, on the lower right hand corner you can see a box there showing you the dimensions. It will have a default scale system like this, okay, which you will need to change later, because if you want to finalize measuring distances, you have to put it in the proper scale. But we don't know the scale yet. What is the proper scale? Okay, but I will put this. I want the numbers to be shown in meters. It is much easier to read. So if I place a measurement there using 1 meter, will show you a value of 14.36 meters. No, that is not the correct one. The correct distance is 7.18 meters. Okay, so now we can, given that number, we can now calculate our scale factor, and this is the formula. I have simplified it so you can copy it and calculate your own scale factors. Okay, so it is AD over RD, where AD I just put it as the actual dimension, which in this case is 7.18 meters. Now the reported distance is 14.36 meters based on the assumed scale that you have. Okay, I'll place these numbers there. So now you can calculate the scale factor. The actual scale factor that you will use is 7.18 over 14.36, which is approximately 0.5. So let me put that in red for emphasis. Now, where do you put this 0.5 value? Well, you just put it on the left part of the scale. Okay, so let's go back there again, and I'll click on format, and you have to change that 1 meter to 0.5. Okay, then most important of all, you have to click on this keep selected twice so that it will be fixed on that scale. Okay, so that will be now the fixed scale for this drawing. 1 centimeter is 0.5 meters. Okay, now if we measure from the grid, the distance between grid D and grid E, it should be more or less the same. You see, so we are correct now. So the scale of 1 is to 0.5 meter is the correct one. So we'll just delete the previous distance. So now, given that we have the correct scale and it's already fixed at that scale, we can start measuring distances or dimensions between items on the drawings. Let's say you want to measure the distance between this wall and the upper wall above it. So you can just click and click. Okay, so in this case it's 1.78 meters. You can measure the distance between the one end of this wall to the other end of that wall. So this is really not accurate but approximate, but it's appropriate if you're just checking, so you're the engineer checking drawings, checking distances, making sure they are correct or more or less correct. Okay, so for example, this pile, we don't know the dimension of this pile. It's not mentioned, or it's not measured in the drawing. So given that we already have the correct scale factor, now without opening AutoCAD, just checking in the PDF drawings, you can have an idea of what is the dimension. Okay, so it's about 900 millimeter dimension, 900 millimeter diameter pile. Okay, so given the diameter, now we can check the distances between piles. Now the allowable distance between piles is 2.5 D for board piles and supported board piles. So 2.5 D, 2.5 times 0.9, that will be 2.25 meters. That is the minimum distance between piles. So in this case, 2.67 greater than 2.25, so that's okay. No problem with that. So at least you have now a tool to check it. Now these two piles look fairly close to each other, so you just need to check that one. So if you click, approximately click on the diameter, on the center of the pile, so the distance is 2.25, so it's correct, no? So it's 2.5 D, so that fits the requirement on the code. The minimum distance between piles is 2.5 D, so that's okay, you know? So you can start measuring other pile distances if you want to continue on checking with that one. So it's that easy, you know? So once you already had a fixed scale, you can just measure anything in the drawings. Okay, so this one I'm measuring the distance between walls. Say you have this drawing and you want to start your 3D model, but you don't have those distances. Let's say the architect only gives you the PDF documents, but you want to start modeling your structure, so you can just start modeling, start measuring those, and you can have a value and you can start modeling it. Okay, now in the perimeter icon, you just it's just an icon to measure the total length. Okay, so it's so let's say you want to measure the total perimeter of this enclosed section. So you click on the four corners. Notice that the numbers are changing on the lower right corner. And right mouse click at the end and just press complete. So now you have this value. It's 38.62 meters total perimeter length of that enclosure. So it's that easy. So you just click on. So you can use this tool. Let's say if you're a surveyor and you have survey maps and you want to measure the total fence length, okay, the total property line. So you can use that perimeter tool. In the area tool, it means what it says, no? So you just make sure the scale is correct. So 1 is to 0.5 meters. Let's say you want to measure the area of this elevator opening. Okay, so you click on the four corners. Notice the numbers are changing on the lower right corner. Then just right mouse click at the last point to complete it. So now you have a total area of 14.98, more or less approximate 14.98, 13.57 square meter, I mean. So that's the area of that elevator opening. And you can actually make some changes. Let's say you want to have a fill color over it. Okay, so green, so you cannot read the numbers behind it, so you can change the opacity to 20 or 40. Okay, so you can now read it. Maybe I'll change it to color yellow. It's much more appealing. So it's there. So okay, so that's it. So you have you have those numbers. Okay. And lastly, if you have finished everything, all your annotations, don't forget to flatten it if you want to submit it. Flatten means making those comments permanent. It will not be editable anymore. So you flatten your comments, then you submit it to the client or whoever needs your review, so they won't be able to change it. Okay, guys, that's the last part. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next tutorials. Okay, bye.